the dead corpuscles. The dead that will be resurrected is not the physical dead that are in tombs. That's what churchgoers believe. It's us awakening. And how do we awake that? By changing the chemistry in our bodies and awakening the cells from animal cells to human cells. You change them chemically as you perfect your temple. And this is the manna. And by that dew are nourished and by that dew are nourished the holy supernal ones. And this is the manna which is prepared for the just in the world to come. So the cerebrum is the spiritual brain. And this is why we ask in the prayer, give us our daily bread. Because the bread comes from here. World means body, the earth, world below, and heaven world. In other words, the skull and the torso. Manna, in its Hebrew, for its interpretation in the Hebrew language, is man-making. Manna, man-making. Please read the following until it is indelibly etched upon your mind. The brain, or cerebrum, is the first and most important gland in the body. The essence it creates flows through all the glands, but each gland consecutively differentiates its fluid. It is of a neuter or neutral nature when first formed, and would continue to do so if mankind did not take from it or rob it. Now just a quick note, just a little quick one. The way you rob from that manna is by bad habits. Overeating, alcohol, over-sex, over-sensation, over-emotion, all of that. And I just want to show you quickly, I do often show this in my videos. I always put this up. These are the platonic solids: ether, fire, air, water, and earth. These are called the four elements. And see, earth and water is the lowest, and that's where sensation and emotion and thinking, all of this is harmful, as we're going to see, to your bodies. Even the good emotions, you know, the pleasure. Pleasure is pain. Until we learn how to be continent and abstain and conquer the passions that keep us down in matter, keep us hexed down in matter with the sensation, all of that, and we learn how to be purged with fire. Purge, P-U-R, means fire. This is purgatory, between heaven and hell. Fire is purgatory, and this is where we go through the fire, through the light, the Son of God, to get to the Father, which is the ether, which is our unconditioned, pristine state. We're still there. You are immortal, and your immortal nature is there. I often use the illustrations like a TV set, right? You put a brick through the TV and you don't destroy the signal. The signal is still wholly connected to the station where it comes from. And that's the spirit in you. It's always there. You cannot cut that spirit off. It exists forever. It's your unconditioned consciousness. So you are immortal. If you're going to fear about losing your bodies in this life, well, that's fine. That's fine. We like to prolong, we don't want to die, we like to prolong the life. Living's great. But this is a mortal part of your existence. And many of the lives that you've had. Okay, so so he says there that this would continue to be neutral if we didn't rob from it. We'll learn about what robbing from it means later. Okay, let me proceed, because as you can see I'm reading a lot of stuff here and it's going to be hard to hard to get through it all. The word caduceus is derived from the verb cado, meaning to fall. Therefore the whole story of the fall and rise of man is contained in it, for the winged pole represents the cerebrospinal system. The winged pole represents the cerebrospinal system. The pole, the spine, and the two wings are the two hemispheres of the brain, or the tree of life, and the two serpents twined round it are the right and left sympathetic systems. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, and also the two thieves. Remember, Jesus died between two thieves, one on his right, one on his left. The motor system, represented by these nerves, in its present deficient and hence imperfect condition, has deteriorated and been perverted into an emotional system. You see, we have sensory nerves and motor nerves. You know, the motor nerves come from Leo, and that gets you doing things. The sensory is receiving all the sense information. And this is the condition of humanity in general. Emotion means a waste of motion, a lack of conservation. All unnecessary motion constitutes waste. And when the nervous system is so depleted that there is no control over it, one is said to be uncontrolled or carried away by emotion. Where perfection exists, no emotion will manifest. And by this is not meant spasmodic control, but harmony. One does not need to exclaim, to weep, to shout, or to jump about to express what one thinks. But the eyes and face can express deep sympathy and understanding. So this is Mount Olympus. This is the heavens. This is Soma. This is Mount Meru, Shambhala. Right? There are many more references in sacred writings to manna, dew, honey, nectar, and ambrosia, the food of the gods, elixir of life, sacred soma juice, amitram or amritam or amrita, all referring to the creative esse of brain substance. Eliphas Levi, in his work on transcendental magic, says, "The human head is formed upon the model of the celestial spheres. It attracts and radiates, and in the conception of a child, this is what is first formed and manifests. Hence the head is subject in an absolute manner to astral influence, and evidences its several attractions by its diverse protuberances. The final word of phrenology is to be found, therefore, in scientific and purified astrology." The study of the word cerebrum gives us the following. This is why words are so important. I've already stressed that. I don't need to keep doing that. Of course, if you've seen some of my videos, you know how much I love words. I've always loved languages, and I'm thankful for that, because now I can do all this, or do it easily. Cerebrum, wax. Neutral wax. Well, I've already read that. It's a neutral wax, and then it gets differentiated to form all the other glands. Seta is interesting. We get cereals from that, because cereal is seed. That is seed. It's called the seed. It's called the Christos, the oil, the Christ oil, because Christ is anointed with oil, or you are anointed with oil. It's all about oil. Another word that comes from that is in the word sincere. You see, sin means without in Latin. In fact, in Spanish, it's the word without. Sin leche, no milk in your coffee. Sincere means without wax. You see, in Roman days, if you were a sculptor and you sculpted in marble and you made a beautiful marble sculpture and all of a sudden a crack appeared in the face, well, that $500,000 statue now is worth about $20,000. So you've got to plug those cracks with wax. And it looks great. They put them in the shops, but they had a sign. They had a sign, sincere, without wax, on this side of the shop, all the little statues, and then on the other side of the shop they had with wax. So that a buyer, a discriminating buyer, could come along and say, well, oh, yeah, that looks good, it looks perfect. $20,000, I'll take it. It's sincere. But if he's got 400,000, he'll get a sincere one. So that's the wax, okay? Again, I'm showing you the power of words. It's very powerful. And from the same root we have the word for cereal or seed. The letter Beth in Hebrew means womb or matrix of creation. The rest of the word in Latin, neuter ending, signifying that the word has a neuter meaning. Truly it is the cerebral substance of a neutral nature and contains or consists of all things. So we see that it's the land flowing with milk and honey, the wax, the beeswax. That's the land flowing with milk and honey. Aries then is the house of God, or the spirit in man. It contains, it houses or contains the brain, the organ of thought. Thought is Toph. It's the house of God, Aries. If the mind is able to function clearly, it will throw light on every subject. It will illuminate and thus reveal all things to man. The only material which is so chemically constituted that it has the power to produce fire or light is potassium phosphate. It produces the highest rate of vibration of any of the 12 base mineral elements of the body. Potassium phosphate, the highest vibrating. Therefore, its allotment is with Aries. Potassium is a soft, brilliant, bluish-white metal melting at 62 5/10 degrees to a liquid resembling mercury. In astrology, Mercury is the messenger of the gods, or ruling powers. Therefore, we see how applicable the comparison is, for potassium is truly the food by which the gods of grey matter are nourished. This fire or light is nowhere to be found in such abundance and purity as in that subject which the Abrians call Hali Kali. Hali Kali. And in Latin they call it sal, S-A-L, alkali. Sal alkali. That's where our word alkali comes from, Hali Kali.
I have to agree, it's a tricky thing politically to jump on that bandwagon, because I think that maybe people see it as taboo still.
It's why it's a ballot measure, Bill, because no politician, even if they thought it was a good idea.
Oh my God.
Yeah, as I was saying.
We went there. I'm gonna pass the mic.
It's the motherfucking Eagle Double G.
Snoop Dogg!